And the other nations are affected by what we do, right? Why do they spend so much money in programming targeted at blacks and Hispanics, right? Where everything is negative. Everything goes against the, what's biblical and what we know is right, right? For example, homosexuality, woman over the man, and so on and so forth, okay? Keeping, worshiping pagan holidays and things. This is the so-called holiday season, right? Filled with the American pagan holidays. And, you can't help but when if you're looking at TV and you see any commercials, there's a lot of programming and marketing that's being directed towards so-called blacks, right? Why is that? Because we're the biggest consumers. You see? So if we could only get our people to consume the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Bible, then we'd be good. But we know it ain't really necessarily going to happen like that, right? Because 2/3 of the Israelites got to be destroyed for wickedness. Okay? So let's move on. Psalms 147, 19 and 20.
This is Psalm 147, starting at verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. Verse 20. He hath not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord.
Right. So another thing that makes the Israelites special above all other nations is the fact that we've been shown the Most High's words, right? And not everybody. Okay? And, these are just more examples of how the Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives, are special to the Most High, and why we need to be following these laws, statutes, and commandments, and how when we do, there's benefits, and when we don't, there's negative results. All right, so let's go to Jeremiah 51, 20 to 23.
Jeremiah chapter 51, beginning at verse 20. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war, for with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. Verse 21. And with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider, and with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider.
Right, so the thee here is talking about the nation of Israel, okay? So, we'll be used by the Most High to judge the earth, right? We're going to be that battle axe that the Most High uses to subjugate all the other nations and bring them into subjection, right? A lot of people might say, well, brother, I don't really see myself doing that, I don't really have a problem with the other nations, or, I love, I know we're the Israelites, and I know that, the other nations are our enemies, but I just don't have that spirit to where I want to, go to war with them. Well, that's beautiful, brother, because the Most High is going to do things according to his indignation, right? And according to his anger. He's going to be putting a spirit on people, right? To get them to do what needs to be done, right? So you don't have to worry about that, but you just keep the commandments and keep the faith, right? So that's what I'll say on that, right? And let's go to Ezekiel 25 and 14 on that matter.
Ezekiel chapter 25, verse 14. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom.
Right? It's just a perfect example right here of how the Most High is going to deal with the Israelites. Go ahead.
I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people, Israel.
That's right.
And they shall do in Edom according to mine anger, and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord.
That's right. So things are going to be done according to the Most High's anger, right? It doesn't matter whether you feel like you're up to it or not, or if you're ready for battle. You know, you just keep the commandments, keep the faith, brother, and let the Most High do everything else, right?
That's right.
A lot of times we be overthinking things and trying to make plans when we ain't controlling them. You know what I'm saying? So we just gotta do what we can, which is stop sleeping with your brother's wife, right? Stop being a con man and a thief, right? Stop being a whoremonger and a pimp, right? Start to love your people, right? Start to teach and keep the feast days and the holy days, right? Along with the laws, statutes, commandments, right? Clean up your act. Clean up your appearance, right? You shouldn't look like a thug or a whore, right? You should look like a respectable man or woman, right? Because, you know, a man can be known by his look.
Bring it out,
You know, it's all biblical. You know, so, you know, reputations matter. You know, and right now the Israelites got a poor reputation, and it's an uphill battle trying to change that reputation. So, but all praise to the Most High, He made it a little bit easier because we only got to really focus on the elect, and you know, the elect of the 1/3, because 2/3 of the headache is going to be taken out in due time, right? So, let's go to Isaiah 60, 10 to 12.
Isaiah chapter 60, beginning at verse number 10. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their king shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath have I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. Verse 11. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night. The men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their king may be brought.
Beautiful, right? So, hey, the heathen nations will have to serve us or be wasted by that same battle axe that we was talking about before, right? Thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Holy Bible. Okay, and that's how special the Israelites are to the Most High, right? All these things are being done for our sakes, right? Because He wants, the Most High wants the Israelites in righteousness the way He created them, right? And, you know, I believe that the elect Israelites, they want to be in line and you know, you know, they want to be found acceptable in the eyes of the Most High. But problem is, you were born in America, you see, where they teach everything contrary to our heritage, which is the law, statutes, and commandments. Okay, so you know, it's a spiritual thing, you know. Just like it says in the scriptures, roughly paraphrasing, that, you know, it's not to him that runneth that, you know, decides whether, you know, you're going to make it or not, or you're going to be saved or be of the elect, but it's to the Most High, right, that decides that. And but the fact of the matter is, you still got to do the best you can, right? There ain't no excuses here. We don't take excuses, and we definitely don't promote our people to make excuses for their shortcomings, or, you know, it's hard or it's difficult. Well, yeah, everything is, okay? But when you make it through on the other side, you come out better and stronger, right? And the Most High is His program. He understands that. That's why you got to be tried by the fire before you can be determined, you know, acceptable and pure
Got precept.
or worthy. All right.
So you're speaking of Romans chapter 9, verse 16. So